friend is coming soon. I greet you in the love and the light of the infinite Creator.
Kapdwa, a mysterious, 3.5-meter tall, two-headed giant from Patagonia. Said to have originally been captured by Spanish sailors in the 1600s, Kapdwa was a two-headed, 3.5-meter tall giant that once lived on Earth. Said to have originally been captured by Spanish sailors in the 1600s, Kapdwa was a two-headed, 3.5-meter tall giant that once lived on Earth. There isn't a shortage of ancient texts and general evidence that supports the notion that giants existed on Earth. However, you've probably never encountered a story like this. Meet Kapdwa, a two-headed, 3.5-meter tall giant from Patagonia. While there are many elaborate hoaxes that show massive bones and strange-looking skeletons all around the globe, there are some discoveries that challenge our understanding of life on Earth. Kapdwa's story is beyond fascinating and many find it hard to believe. So, where did he come from? The story begins in 1673 when this massive two-headed giant was captured by Spanish sailors, where he remained captive until he was killed while trying to escape from his captivators, as the Spaniards killed him with a pike through the chest. The story fades away after that, but it is believed that his mummified remains somehow got to England in the 19th century. In 1914, after being passed from one showman to another, the mummified remains of Kapdwa ended up at Weston's Burnbeck Pier. There, his remains spent some 45 years on display until Lord Thomas Howard purchased the remains in 1959. Kapdwa continued to amaze people and somehow ended up in Baltimore, MD, in a strange collection at Bob's Sideshow at the Antique Man Limited in Baltimore, owned by Robert Gerber and his wife. You may think, this is nothing but another elaborate fake. However, Kapdwa does exist and the mummified remains can be found in Gerber's collection. Mr. Gerber, however, tells a much different story than the above. According to Gerber, Kapdwa was in fact found already dead on a beach with a massive spear embedded in his chest. The creature was mummified by locals in Paraguay, not Patagonia, until an English captain called George Bickle came across his remains, eventually transporting him to England, to a museum in Blackpool where he stayed on display for several years. Eventually, the mummified remains were transported back to the Americas to Baltimore. Okay, so he did exist. Does that prove giants were common in the past? Well, while it's certainly possible that such a being may have existed, and Kapdwa is most likely real, there is abundant proof of fake giants all around the globe. This, however, does not mean that because one of them is fake, all others are as well. We can find numerous ancient texts and accounts that mention the existence of giants. Some of these texts can even be found in religious books like the Bible. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. Genesis 6-4. The Nephilim are believed to have been the offspring of the sons of God and the daughters of men before the deluge according to Genesis 6-4. The name is also used in reference to giants who inhabited Canaan at the time of the Israelite conquest of Canaan according to Numbers 13:33. And there we saw the Nephilim, the sons of Anak, who come of the Nephilim, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. Numbers 13:33. Kapdwa may have been real, and our planet is anything but uncommon when it comes to people with extraordinary height. The tallest man on Earth, when last measured on June 27, 1940, was found to be 2.72 meters. The issue with the two heads can also be explained as conjoined twins are not that uncommon. It is up to you to conclude whether or not something like this is possible, and whether or not the existence of Kapdwa proves that in the distant past, giants did exist on Earth, and there are still many things that remain unexplained on Earth.
Please like us and share with your social media. Please subscribe and click the bell to be notified of our new videos.
Remember to check out our playlist for important intel you may have missed. Be sure to enter our Subscriber Appreciation $100 monthly giveaway. The link is in our description.
And visit our sister channel. Event is coming soon. For additional intel and information, stay tuned. Victory of the Light.